Hi YouTube and welcome back to my Let's Play Aion. Alright, so I pretty much finished up all the quests within Altgard City. There were a couple left, they were just, some fairly basic gathering quests where I had to just kill some things and stuff. So I ended up just going ahead and doing that without recording it because I figured that was probably getting a little tedious from last week. It wasn't that much different from what I was showing last week. So instead, I'm now on my way to an outpost. I have to go through this tunnel first to get there, and about to hit a limit for flying. Yep, can't fly past that point. As I've said before, there's certain areas that you can't fly and some areas that you can. So we're now entering an area where we can't fly, and the one thing is that this game doesn't have is mounts, or at least it didn't. I think maybe at the higher levels you do get mounts now, I forget, but obviously we're not there yet, so still everything on foot at this point. Alright, so there's a little encampment over here in this forest, Moslan Forest, I believe it's called. And this is the Moslan Crossroad, and we got a bunch of things to turn in, and then a bunch of new quests to pick up along the way. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. Message for you. So, oops, and there we just leveled up to level 13. And actually, by the time I'm done with everything today, we'll actually be leveled up all the way to level 14. So I had about an hour's worth of footage, and I cut it down to the 17 or so, almost 18 minutes here that you see. So obviously there was a bunch of things where I was doing a lot of gathering, and if I'm out killing, have to kill like 10 critters or something like that, or have to kill who knows how many to gather up a certain number of drops from those animals. I'm only including parts of that now instead of like me getting all of it. So because I think, well, I actually don't mind the grinding that can happen sometimes. That's one of the terms that people use for these kind of games. I actually find it diverting, but I know a lot of people find it tedious and boring, and so I figure if I include too much of that in my videos, that the videos themselves will be tedious and boring. So but yes, here you can see I've got to kill these carnifs. These ones look a little bit different from some of the other ones that we have encountered so far. And they basically refer to any cat-like creature as a carnif. Even if, they look more like a leopard or more like a lion or more like a tiger, they're all carnifs. So I guess that's their word for cat. Alright, so now here killing these birds called plumas, and basically having to gather their feathers for some quest. So you notice I'm not really paying much attention to the quest details themselves. I just know I've got to kill these things. As you're playing games like this, you can read very, very carefully what each quest does, or you can kind of figure it out just based off of what's in the area, looking at the map. The map, especially in Aion, tells you a lot of information. Okay, so I killed all the plumas, killed all the carnifs. Here you can see that even though I can't fly, I can glide. I wanted to demonstrate the gliding. So if you're going downhill and you double click your spacebar, it allows you to glide down the hill for a certain length of time. Eventually you run out of, either your flight time runs out, or you hit higher ground and you land, or there's a number of reasons why you might stop the glide. And it's always best to do it downhill. Alright, so we're now going into this other area here. Having to survey the Mao they've got another plantation or something over here, so we've got to go ahead and do a little bit of surveying, and then there's some additional questing that will be happening. And I've got a couple of other actual real people players in the area playing as well. You'll see them off and on. And I tried to kind of stay out of their way. There's one running past right now. And they're actually in a legion. If you're familiar with World of Warcraft, that's similar to a guild. Basically a group of people who cooperate together to complete quests and goals and things. And I'm not currently a member of a legion. Here we go. Now we're going to glide down here. And we've got some of these, I think they're called togs, yeah. They look like big bulldogs, but they're like wild bulldogs. And so we've got to kill a number of those. I think we're looking for rib meat from those. So this is a drop quest and things. So again, same difference where I'm not going to show you me killing every single one of them. I cut up quite a bit of that footage. Because one of the other things is while I'm playing, I'm also doing other things. And so, like, I've got times I'm actively playing and times where my character just stands around and does absolutely nothing. Kind of like that, except for a much longer period of time. And then I forget, oh, it's been 15 minutes, whoops. And so that's like 15 minutes that I just edit right out of the video, because, I mean, what's the point of you just watching? You're just standing there doing nothing. Alright, so I killed the Tog I needed to, and I ended up getting this angry Carnif. I guess anchored. And you notice that this one looks different than the ones over by the Moslan crossroad that I was killing. So this one's more like a leopard. The other one was more like a cheetah in terms of coloration and things. So that's my suspicion that Carnif just translates to cat, or big cat perhaps. And my health was down pretty low, so I kind of went and took a rest there before continuing on. And we came across another quest giver right here in the middle of the forest.
Was there something you needed?
Using TP style tents, I'm noticing. Oh, and the player right behind me, Raider Hero Thuramix, he's looking like he's breathing really hard because his health is low. If your health gets low, that's what happens. Alright, so moving right along. So the guy we just talked to, the farm or their homestead was invaded by those Lepharist Revolutionaries, and the kid got out safe. I'm saying kid, but he's probably just, like a young adult. But his uncle, he hasn't found his uncle yet, so one of the things we're going to do is go after and find his uncle. And then we also have to go to the same area for another quest where we're basically looking for a suspicious document where it details out what the Lepharists are doing and why they're invading this poor guy's homestead. So I'm kind of assessing the situation here. You can see there's a lot of Lepharists, some with yellow names, meaning that they're a little bit tougher. You'll also notice that my character now seems to be emitting this kind of yellowish, almost looks like a mist coming off of her body. And if you look at, you see in the bottom left, next to the image of her face, you've got HP, MP, DP. HP, of course, are my health points. MP are my mana points. I don't think I use mana that much with this character, although I do have a certain amount of mana. And then I have DP, and I forget exactly what DP stands for, but I do know that the longer you play, and that line gets filled up, and you start glowing more and more to a certain level. I forget exactly if it's 2 levels or 4 levels, or 3 levels, that you can go up on it. And I think it increases either your experience or your hit points, or there's certain benefits to that. But I've obviously at this point have played enough to start getting a little bit of a glow. And it, oddly enough, because of the way it's happening, it looks a little bit like on The Sims 3. If you watch my Sims 3 videos at all, where when someone, their hygiene is low and they start reeking, and so they have this kind of green mist coming off of them. And so this kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I mean, it's yellow instead of green, but... Alright, so we found the uncle. The uncle said, can you please come find my treasure box and, bring back the contents of the safe. Alright, so there he is. And he's like, yay, the money's still there. So the Lepharists definitely were ignoring his little money stash, or didn't find it, or didn't see it, whatever. So we're going to go ahead and now we're going to do what's called an escort quest, where we actually escort this guy to a ship where he can escape. Yep, see, there he goes. He's now following me. And the goal is to get him to his ship. You can see the little sailing ship off in the distance there. While keeping him alive. So, kind of have to be careful in these escort quests to not aggravate too many enemies at the same time, because they might attack me, but they could also attack him. And if that happens and if he dies, the quest fails. I mean, obviously, basically he just regenerates over to where I found him last, and we have to do it all over again. It's not like if you fail, you can't do it, but at any rate, there we go. I've got her. Let's get him to his ship. Oh yeah, see, I got poison, so you can see every now and again she's kind of twitching and stuff, and that's a poison hit that she's getting. But we can bandage, and we will survive. Alright, so here's a little cutscene where we get to see the uncle get into a ship and say thank you.
Please let my nephew Manny
know I escaped. You'll also notice that she's wearing a helmet now with a chainmail kind of face cover. She picked it up as a drop, and since she was able to wear it, even though she's usually just a leather wearer and not a chain wearer, and it's a chainmail helm, but the system let me put it on her, so it was, it helped increase her hit point, her health points, that kind of thing. So, alright, so now that we've got the uncle taken care of, now we can go search for that darn pesky document. I have to get into this house to do it, but that means getting past several guards and stuff first. Let's go after the closest one. Thankfully, these guys are pretty easy to kill, so I think because I'm leveling faster, primarily because I'm using the fast track server, I'm getting to be, higher level than I need to be for the surrounding areas, and so the people that I have to kill and stuff are not too difficult. I mean, the yellow ones here are going to be a little bit tougher, or a little bit at her level, but not too bad. Before going on the fast track server, back in the old days, these guys would all be orange at her current level. And just as a reminder, anyone with their name in red is basically impossible. They will kill you. Anyone with orange, it's going to be a tough fight, but you should be able to win it if you pay attention. Yellows are slightly tough fight, but no problem killing. If it's sort of an off-white kind of color, it's like super easy to kill. And I think, I forget if there's green or not. I think green is just friendlies. And then gray is, not only is it easy to kill, but you get no experience at all. So I think if you ended up trying to come across a, take on a red one, and you somehow manage to kill them, even though they're supposed to be impossible, you just end up getting like a ton of experience points if you did that. Which is why I always, try that once in a while, just to see if I could do it. Oranges will bring you a lot more XP than yellows as well, that kind of thing. Alright, so now we gotta tell him about his uncle. So that he knows that his uncle is safe and sound. And then that pretty much wraps up this little kind of quest chain over here in this area. At least for now. Alright. And there's my ding to level 14. So I'm now level 14. I dinged up to 13 at the beginning of this episode, and I'm now 14. I think I mentioned I was going to hit 14 before the end of the episode, and I was right. Now I'm just going to go basically all the way back where I came from and drop off these quests that I've been completing. Keep checking the map to make sure I'm going the right way. And I kind of cut out a lot of the running back part. Alright, so now we just have to drop these quests off, and once I do that, I think I will wrap things up. If you are a regular watcher of my Aion videos, and if this is the only series of mine that you watch, then I want to say thank you very much, and wish you a Merry Christmas, and let's see, I think the next episode will it still be in this year? Let me check really quickly. Yeah, so there's one more episode still this year before the New Year hits. So I guess I won't wish you a Happy New Year just yet, but I will wish you a Merry Christmas, because Christmas will be over and done with by the time the next episode goes up. Oh yeah, so a little cutscene here from one of the next quests I'm going to have to do. And they want us to burn the Odella. Alright. So I've picked up almost all the quests, and I'm going to be wrapping this up very shortly. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and until next week, take care. Bye-bye.